Hey everyone, so here with a quick video on what I've been doing in the Blast from the Past event. In the background will be some footage of me running the typical Glacier strategy, in that you run in, dump some Pandemonium Sentinels on large packs of enemies, empowering them and giving them rewards, and then picking up all the loot and leaving. Um, so yeah, played a Deadeye Lightning Arrow. Pretty much one of the fastest builds you can get going for this type of thing. The other one would be Ignite. I did consider last minute going for an Ignite build, but I didn't want to play it without Barracks Respite, and I didn't want to try to farm the cards for it, even though I don't think that would have been that bad. That might be something I entertain in the future if Sentinels come back and I want to do some early farming of them. But yep, I got up to level 95 on my Lightning Arrow Deadeye. I'll go over gear and such after this footage runs, but for the most part, I've just been farming Recombinators, doing the strategy. Adjacent map to Glacier that I'm running is Wharf, just for the nice linear layout. It is open enough or dense enough around like corners and stuff for the Pandemonium Sentinels to be pretty good there as well, but the most of the time I'm running Glacier. And I'll go over my Atlas tree and stuff as well. Pretty basic though. I got like 116 out of 132 points, something like that. Only got 2 Void Stones because didn't really need anything else. And if this event has shown me anything, it's that I definitely prefer going for a faster character on League Start. And I need to remember this for the next league in about a month, because it's been really fun so far. I like just blasting maps super early, getting a lot of supplies, especially like farming altars and such. I haven't been specifically going for altars really. I think if I was doing an actual like altar farming boss rush type strategy, I could churn through more maps than I do this, just because I got to the point of not really wanting to upgrade my gear because the event is so temporary, and I don't really want to spend time picking up stuff because it's all going to standard anyways. So my bar for whether I pick something up is, do I want this in standard, not do I want this to upgrade my character or something. So I settled on my gear pretty early. You can see me struggling a bit on certain rares in the background, or even some packs at times, depending on the level of empowerment. But for the most part, I was comfortable with how the character played. Like I said, got it to 95 for the mystery boxer random cosmetic reward threshold. But on top of the gearing situation, I think a boss rush strategy could go faster in general because it's just a different playstyle. So I think keeping that in mind, the trying to group up enemies takes time, and I'm playing a well, I guess it's a kind of linear layout, but I'm not killing the boss basically ever. I did kill the boss for every 28th map, because boss invitations in standard, fine to have, and it doesn't really take that much extra time every 28th map. But if I was going to kill the boss every map and bypass the Sentinel stuff, I think it'd go quicker. All that said, it was very enjoyable, or has been so far. I don't know if I'll be completely done, or if I am just going to take a break, but I've been doing this like all day, had the day off. I'm posting this the day I'm recording it, by the way. So day 4 of the event? Day 5, maybe? Depending on how you look at it, yeah. I guess 5? No, wait a minute. I can't count. Yeah, day 4. So, looking at my gear, all pretty basic. Again, it's like a life, res, maybe one other nice stat with some Eldritch implicits. It took me forever to get a 6 link. I was running with a 5 link for the longest time until I got a I actually did get a 6-link conversion drop, but for bad bases, like two-handed maces and an armor base. This one was just a stray 6-link drop, so I ended up using this towards the end, with my links being Lightning Arrow, Volatility, Hypothermia, Returning Projectiles, and early damage with attacks. I'm using Volatility because I did not go crit, and it worked out to be slightly better than Inspiration on average. I decided not to go crit because I landed this bow. It's a little over 800 elemental DPS, and said that's good enough for what I'm going to do. Mostly white and blue maps, as in no mods or 1 or 2 mods. It's also how I was able to get level 95, because when the maps aren't that dangerous, even with the empowerment from the Sentinels, you really don't run that big of a risk of dying as long as you're comfortable playing a glass cannon and know what you need to do to avoid dying. Rings and all that, very basic life res stats that I need. Try to pick up some flat damage where I could, like on Amulet here, just to account for some of the lack of damage elsewhere and the lack of like not going crit. Boots. I got these boots pretty early and wore them pretty much the whole time, swapping out the craft as needed. Quiver. I got an interesting quiver, actually. This quiver in was Act 6 or 7, and wore this thing most of the game until I went out of my way to get one with a bit more attack speed, just to increase DPS. But yeah, this quiver carried hard, especially on the res for early gearing. Yeah, I don't know what more to talk about, really. I guess I'll go over Atlas strategy here. There's basically nothing on it. And the reason for that is I don't care about anything other than Sentinels in this event. I didn't do that much Calandra either, just because the desirable things from it are rare. I say I didn't do it. I interacted with the... I built up lakes and such at the tablets, but I did not run many of them outside of like early progression, because you know whether or not the thing you're after is in without running it, if that makes sense. You'll see on the selection whether you get the thing you want. I didn't get any of the rare ones, being Reflection of Paradise or the one with the jewelry mirroring. I don't remember what it's called. Reflecting Mist? I feel like that's the one you pick from, though. Anyways, I didn't get it. And I didn't put a ton of effort into checking like every one. I didn't run each map to the point of finding it, but the ones I did see, I went ahead and did build up the map for. So, the Atlas passives are mostly focused around an adjacency, map duplication strategy. I did pick up the mission chances, because these will roll over to standard. Missions always roll over to the parent league at the end of the league, and are summed with whatever the parent league has. So I figured if I did pick up some missions along the way, it wouldn't be the worst thing to have in standard, and everything else would slow me down. So pretty much just map adjacency chance, duplication, some quant and rarity, wandering path, shrine stuff. They fixed shrine nodes a while back with wandering path, so like you can get 5 of these 20% chance nodes to get 100% chance for a shrine. That used to not guarantee a shrine. Now it does, so that's nice. Early on, I did do some essences, which is how I crafted this bow. Just essence spamming, really. This one actually might have been recombined. I can't quite remember. Based on the item level, I'm inclined to say yes, but yeah, I don't fully remember. I did use a couple Recombinators to try to make a better bow, and then I realized probably wasn't going to happen with the level of effort I was willing to put in, so I just, again, settled on this and went to town, really. The key thing, I don't have any examples now because I just recombined with the power core and deleted my last one, but if you're going to do any of this in the last few days of the event yourself, you really want to try to find Pandemonium Sentinels with % chance for empowered enemies to have Sentinel rewards. And you will just be showered in Recombinators. I have, let's see, 400 something here. Let's see, that's 6110, like 400. Nope, I'm not even going to bother to do them. It's like 430. So each map I did with one of those Sentinels was going to be at least one Recombinator on average. Sometimes like 2 to 3, and sometimes as many as like 5 or 6. If you also had a Stalker Sentinel with the mod, which this one does have it. The best one I found, I think I have it here still. 150 enemies, 3.4% Sentinel reward chance with 21 charges. And add Quant on it. This one is recombined because it's got a prefix and 2 suffixes from something else. But yeah, this one was a boon. I'll be recombining these if I decide to farm more. Not that one, I guess. Then I have this one to run through, this one to run through. But those are nowhere near as good as the Pandemonium Sentinels. They just take longer to use. They usually don't empower as many enemies. So like these ones are the best ones I've had. Sometimes you get one that only empowers 50. Then again, sometimes you get a Pandemonium Sentinel base that only empowers 30. In that case, you want to recombine it with one that has more. And it's possible I was recombining my Sentinels wrong. As far as I understand it, you want, because the mod is a suffix, I want that to be basically the only suffix. So I was recombining some with just prefix, like a magic one of just prefixes, ideally +2 charges. And that seemed to work out pretty well. So wasn't too upset with the results for that. It's been like several days since I started running my first one that had Sentinel rewards, and I literally just ran out before this video. So, again, pretty happy with that. Yeah, I have no aspirations of crafting anything within the confines of the event, really. I think I'm pretty happy with just letting the Recombinators roll over to standard. I'm curious to see whether they re-add them and whether or not they will nerf them. If Sentinels are getting re-added, like if they announce that they're coming back, I will try to craft something with the ones I have in standard before the patch, because I'm very doubtful that they don't nerf them with the coming patch if they're reintroduced. Unless they make them super rare. So I guess in saying that, maybe I won't do that. If they announce that they are going to be nerfed, then I'll use them up before the patch. If they don't, I'll have to think about it more and probably put out a video on the topic as well. But for the time being, happy with what I've gotten here. I think 100 was a good milestone to try to hit, and I've got over 100 of each. Slightly less of weapon. It took me a while to get my first weapon before, after getting like a dozen or two of each jewelry and armor. And the stack is lower now because I used some. But I really only used 6 or 8, I think. So, still a little bit low there. I did see somebody on Reddit create a +2 power charge ring. And that was pretty nuts. And only possible in this event. +2 maximum power charge, I should say. Only possible in this event because this is the only time you've been able to interact with both Sentinel and Calandra in the history of the game. So they use jewelry recombinators to make a +1 max power charge ring that's an explicit. and then they threw it in the reflection of the lake and got +2 max power charges because it doubled instead of double and negative. Anyways, I will post the POB down below. Character tree is all over the place and it's non-crit, which I would not recommend in an actual league setting because you're just going to get more damage by going crit usually. I just went very short-sighted on my character progression. And if you have any questions, let me know down below about the event or my strategy at all. I think it's pretty typical, but I'll try to answer as best I can. And if you enjoyed the video, feel free to give it a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching. Peace.